always been a growing interest into intelligence, counter-terror agencies, and terror organizations in motion shows such as Mission Impossible, James Bond's Strike Back in 24. But as there are so many motion shows like this recently, there needs to be a variation in quality, and one of those shows that absolutely burned the potential is a new show called The Agency for 2024. And number one issue with the show is that it does not focus on the best and most interesting moments. Operation Felix seems to be very important to get character back, and nobody really knew what that operation was during the beginning. Sadly, 85% of the season is about Morrison and his internal problems as he starts to fall knee-deep into a love affair with the African woman Samia. That relationship with her and the complications between Sudanese and China is something that completely overrides all the other events of the whole season. In addition, the Morrison has more internal problems, which also takes a whole cake off the screen time in the sessions with the psychiatrist Dr. Bleak and the moments with his daughter Poppy. Of course, she is in danger in some of the episodes, and it might be tense that she is almost abducted, but that she shows up with her boyfriend after having sex, and those awkward father-daughter conversations does not really make the show interesting, I'm sad but honest to say. Second problem is a frail issue that we have touched upon a little with Poppy, namely the side characters that ruin the show. But as we just talked about Poppy, we will now turn to Daniela, which is the worst and most annoying character in the show. It makes me annoyed every single time I see her. She is this character that seems to be too nervous, too emotional, and not ready to go undercover. Additionally, this plan to infiltrate Iran also has nothing to do with the main goal of getting Coyote back, and to me, she is the clearest example of an inclusive character in a long time. Had this been the real world, she would have been toast. But of course, as this show is highly fictionalized, she is saved by the bell out of every precarious situation and even deemed a beast by one of the other characters. In the first episodes, as you saw the firefight in the second episode in Ukrainian territories, it lets you think it will be less office work and more infield operations, when in fact, as it drags by, Amazon, as it is revealed in the end, becomes a double agent as Paul Lewis, because he is so deep in love and wants to save Samia. So it is of course like he is in a field only with the confidence of home, as the British agent puts it more precisely in episode number 10, the last one of the season. And it was just a plan to make it more office driven, also takes a bit of fun out of the show, because it is of course much more exciting during the Coyote rescue mission and during that shootout in the second episode. If we talk character-wise again, there are only 3 characters that are really good in the show. And when we talk about the share of the screen time, the Martian of course gets most of it, but too little is delivered out to Jeffrey Wright, that plays Ogletree, and Richard Gere, that plays Bosco. Instead we see too much screen time for Daniela and Samia. That is only there because they have made her so massive in the story as an internal Martian problem. Even the Osman character that threatens the Martian and his family as he crawls too close to Samia like a love bug. Actually, the Sudan story is the one problem that hinders the show from being good, because it is like a matrix standing in the way, and if you had thrown out Samia and Daniela, the 2 inclusion characters here, it would never have been a mess, as you could focus more closely on Operation Felix, which is more interesting than anything else in this show. Another issue I have my share of trouble with is how you on one side see a show that resembles good tension, but on the other side, it cannot always back that up by good scenes. You know, talking us out with agency slang and such can only do so much. We need some action behind those words as well. Nevertheless, it is interesting to see how different agencies share information and what they may want in return. With that being said, I would have liked to see Michael Fassbender and more agents out in the field and not just the training and testing part, which is baked into the show with the Daniela character. Naturally, in a way, the biggest problem is of course that anyone could have done this role, and Sarah Lightfoot is not a good actor. She is recruited only because of the quota rule. Now I've talked enough about a show that did too many wrong turns, and after watching through all those 10 episodes, I'm looking at a 6 out of 10.